In the school's corridor, Makoto sees the MC. Makoto, ever playful, nudges MC, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Was that you just now, Makoto? MC asks, a hint of amusement in his voice. What are you talking about? Wasn't me, not at all. Ah, okay, she giggles softly, trying to suppress a smile, a quiet laugh escaping her lips. She chuckled softly. Here it comes, MC thought. Makoto's signature, pay attention to me signal. He couldn't help but notice she was in a particularly good mood today. Reacting would mean losing, but the thought was quickly dismissed. She's ridiculously cute, he had to admit, but he was determined not to give in. MC stood firm, his expression unyielding. Mikoto, never one to be easily deterred, poked his cheek playfully. She gently poked his cheek twice. He remained still, a statue of stoicism. A smug grin spread across Mikoto's face, her eyes gleaming with mischief. Guess who? Her tone was light, filled with playful anticipation. But then, a shift. A shadow seemed to cross her face, and her voice took on a vulnerable quality. Why were you ignoring me this whole time? That's so mean. Is there something about me you don't like? Her words hung in the air, a fragile question. Is that why you're mad? If so, I'll fix it. I'll become the kind of girl who's perfect for you. I'll change everything. MC's carefully constructed resolve began to crumble. Mikoto, no, it's not like that. Her eyes widened, confusion clouding her features. Huh? I was just being stubborn for no reason. I'm sorry, Makoto. And there's nothing about you I dislike, not a single thing. So really, I'm sorry. Please don't cry. MC's voice was gentle, filled with sincerity. Makoto's face lit up, a radiant smile breaking through. So that means you don't hate me? You're not mad at me? Yeah, of course not. Relief washed over MC, a warm and comforting wave. He'd seen so many different sides of Makoto, he reflected. He remembered her as a child, tears streaming down her face, a sight that always tugged at his heartstrings. Ever since they were kids, he'd been weak to her tears, a fact he couldn't deny. He recalled countless times he'd caved into her watery eyes, unable to resist her vulnerability. Once she pulls out that trump card, he knew he didn't stand a chance. Makoto gently poked his shoulder twice. He paused, taking a breath. Okay, I get it already, MC conceded, a smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. And honestly, he thought, a part of him wouldn't have it any other way. And so, the scene fades, leaving us with a sense of warmth and understanding. The corridor, once a battleground of wills, was now, as always, their sanctuary, their bond a little stronger for the unspoken feelings shared. The day began like any other. Sunlight filtered through the gaps in the blinds as Mikoto and I walked to school, the rhythmic tap of our shoes on the pavement our only company. Oh, yeah, that reminds me, I started, but a sudden shove sent Makoto stumbling. Sound of body hitting the ground. My blood ran cold. Makoto, are you okay? I rushed to her side, my heart pounding in my chest. Oh no, I thought, a wave of despair washing over me. I saw the blood, the fresh wound marring her otherwise flawless face. Again. Because I wasn't careful. The self-reproach echoed in my mind. Again? Makoto murmured, her voice barely audible. It's fine. I think it just started bleeding easily since it happened last night too, she said, trying to reassure me, but her eyes betrayed her pain. No, it's my fault, I insisted, guilt gnawing at me. I'll stop the bleeding right away. No, really, she replied softly, but I could see the weariness in her eyes. As I tended to her wound, my mind raced back to the past. I remembered the scar on the right side of her face, which was usually hidden, something she got during middle school. Mikoto had this strange pull, an almost gravitational force that drew people to her, I recalled. But what that pull attracted wasn't always good. Jealousy, resentment, and envy. Those negative emotions slowly ate away at her. And this scar was the result, I realized with a pang. Makoto wasn't to blame, I thought. The responsibility is all mine. Back then, I was embarrassed about how I felt about her, so I intentionally distanced myself. Even though I noticed something was off, something strange was happening to her. The reason Mikoto had changed was because I, the closest one to her, didn't protect her, I concluded, the weight of my past actions pressing down on me. I clenched my fist, resolving, so now I'll protect her before anything else. But a new wave of doubt washed over me. How could I ever make up for my past failures? But for someone like me to confess those feelings to her? That would be far too presumptuous, I thought, a bitter taste in my mouth. And so I remained silent, trapped between my desire to protect her and my fear of rejection, the unspoken words hanging heavy in the air between us. The bleeding stopped. Does your nose still hurt? If there is anything else wrong, just tell me, okay? MC's voice was a soothing balm, and she drank it in, desperate for any sign of genuine care. Oh, Makoto, you pathetic fool, is this really happiness? She said to herself, the inner voice a harsh counterpoint to the warmth of his words. He's just being nice. Don't get your hopes up. I might be feeling a little dizzy, so I was hoping maybe you could stay with me and watch over me today. The words felt like begging, each syllable dripping with neediness. She cringed inwardly. God, I sound so desperate. He must think I'm pathetic, crossed her mind. Yeah, injuries aren't so bad, she forced out, plastering on a smile that felt brittle and fake. Because when I'm hurt, MC gives me all his attention. Admit it, Mikoto, that's the only reason you're saying that. You crave his attention, even if it's for the wrong reasons, she thought with a pang of guilt. My middle school life was the worst. MC avoided me like the plague, she remembered, the memory a constant gnawing ache. Before the accident, before the scar, she was invisible. I got this scar and I wanted to die. But then, this scar, it brought you back to me. It made you start looking at me again. A twisted, horrifying thought crossed her mind. So, I'm only worth something to him now because I'm damaged? But I'm sure it's just pity. The words tumbled out, a bitter, unwanted truth. Let's be honest, Makoto. My face is all messed up. It's horrible and ugly. There's no way someone like you would ever fall for someone like me. You are only with me out of pity. I know that, she told herself, the words like a cold shower. Thank you, MC. The gratitude felt hollow, tainted by the underlying despair. Hmm? Sure? His casual reply was a stark reminder of the chasm between them. He was oblivious, while she was drowning in her own insecurities. Okay, Makoto, play it cool. That's why I have to make sure you don't hate me. I have to make sure you don't get tired of me, she told herself, the mantra a shield against the pain. I want to repay you. If there's anything I can do, anything at all. She'd do anything, sacrifice anything to earn his genuine affection. Stop it, Mikoto. You're debasing yourself. He'll never see you as anything more than a charity case, she thought, a wave of shame washing over her. There you go again. This time it's my fault, not yours. His sigh was a subtle sting, a reminder that she was always the problem. Face it, Makoto, I have to be someone pitiful for you to stay, because even someone like me still wants to be by your side forever. But wanting is a fool's game. For someone like me to hope you might actually return my feelings. That would be far too presumptuous. It's a pipe dream, Makoto. Just accept the pity and move on, she said to herself, the despair a heavy blanket, suffocating any flicker of hope.